Chapter 13. Civil War, Revolutionary War, Heaven's Perspective on America, and the Release of Champions, by Rick Joyner. In December of 2018, I had a prophetic dream in which I was shown America's history from heaven's perspective. It was very different from any history I had read. For example, heaven did not consider America as having won the Revolutionary War. They did not see this as a war to free ourselves from British rule, to establish a nation where everyone was truly considered equal. As stated in the Declaration of Independence, if this had been accomplished, there would have been no reason for the Civil War, because there could not have been slavery or even discrimination. The difference between heaven's perspective on American history and our earthly perspective was striking in other captivating ways. However, I felt compelled to go see heaven's perspective of our most recent history, where we are now. Instead of seeing unfolding events, I saw the following in brilliant fiery letters. The Second American Revolutionary Civil War is inevitable. It is right, and it will be successful. Because of what I had seen of heaven's perspective on our history, I understood why this was inevitable, and why it was right. However, the dream ended while I was trying to see what successful meant from heaven's perspective. This dream was one of the most extraordinary I have ever had, and there is far more to it that can be covered in a short chapter. What I am sharing here is crucial for now. This dream began with great champions receiving assignments by an angel to seek and destroy certain spiritual strongholds. This angel emphasized that these strongholds should not just be defeated or driven away, but destroyed. I was reminded of how Joshua was told to utterly destroy the enemies of Israel, or they would come back as stumbling blocks to Israel. There was a fierceness in this angel that was conveyed to these champions. As these champions moved out to their task, others gathered to each one to help. This is beginning to happen now, and will be one of the important developments unfolding in 2020. This will begin waking up Christians who have been inactive or dormant in congregations that are not really engaged in the battles of our times. These champions, who are skilled in spiritual warfare and have authority from the Lord to attack these enemies, will win victories that will inspire many others to leave the sleeping congregations. They will inspire them to gather where real training and deployment is happening. The Christian leaders of the future church will be these warrior champions who are fighting the good fight. In the dream, the champions sent out to destroy strongholds were told that these enemies would be found in trees. Trees are the biggest and strongest of all plants, and their strength is determined by the health of their roots. The enemies we are about to engage have deep and strong roots. We must not just flail at the branches, but rather put the axe to the roots of these trees. Ineffective spiritual warfare, led by the immature or the shallow, has ultimately strengthened the enemy. This was sometimes done by driving out the enemy, but failing to occupy the territory vacated. As Jesus explained, when a demon is cast out, it always tries to return. If it finds its former habitation unoccupied, it will bring back 7 more, even worse than itself. This is true of territorial powers as well. We must not continue to waste our energy and resources fighting battles until we are also ready to occupy and hold the ground taken. There will always be a counterattack, and the wise do not waste time celebrating or promoting their victories. Rather, they are preparing for the battles to come. In the dream, the champions about to be sent out were strong because of their depth. They were mature and deep in their understanding because they knew the Holy Spirit who searches the depths, even the depths of God. No one who really knows and follows the Holy Spirit will be shallow. One way we can discern the future leaders is by their depth. We must have strong and deep roots to confront the deep and strong enemies we're facing. This leads to another prophetic dream I had over 10 years ago that is connected to the one above, and will also begin to unfold now. In that dream, I saw many fathers from the back, but I knew who they were. I was told that if we would learn to honor our fathers, the Lord would bring revival to America within 6 months. By dishonoring fathers and fatherhood, one of the biggest gates of hell had been opened into our country. Gates of hell are the access points where the powers of hell enter our lives, the church, and the world. As the Apostle Paul explained in Ephesians 6, honoring our fathers and mothers is the only commandment with a promise attached. The promise is that it would go well with us, and we would have longevity on the earth. The intentional and systematic strategy of our enemy to have us dishonor our fathers and mothers is one reason why things are starting to go so badly for America. A major way this dishonoring of our fathers is being done is through revisionist historians who have dishonored our national founding fathers. They have twisted and rewritten history to make some of the greatest men in history seem evil. Coupled with the assault on fatherhood and the assault on masculinity in general, this will destroy our republic, if not reversed. It will be reversed. So how do we reverse this? We begin by obeying the commandment to honor our fathers and mothers. Although I was shown in my dream that we need to focus on honoring the fathers, it's not possible to become a father without a mother being present. We also need to honor mothers and motherhood as it deserves. This is also a key to tearing down the stronghold of abortion. Even so, it is fatherhood that has been under the greatest assault in our country and in many others. And so this needs our greatest attention. The exhortation in Malachi 4 is for restoring the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the children to the fathers. There is no mention of mothers here. There has been no doubt been a toxic masculinity that has abused women and the weak throughout history. Even so, masculinity itself is not toxic. Yet this is what is being taught in public schools and universities in order to corrupt the family, the basic social structure of society. True masculinity and true femininity are essential bulwarks against the deep darkness seeking to devour the world. If we are going to go after the roots of what is attacking fatherhood and masculinity, then we must be deep and strong in what it means to be a father and a man. True men will have the utmost respect for true women. They will use their strength to help the weak, not abuse or use them for selfish means. We must become resolute in teaching the young how to walk in the dignity and honor with which the sons and daughters of the king should conduct themselves. We must teach them how to treat the opposite sex with dignity and respect. We must intentionally teach men how to be men, and women how to be women, according to the royal standards of the Lord. The blurring of gender distinctions that God has made is a basic assault on the integrity of God, and a basic strategy of the devil to cloak the world in a deep darkness that cannot be penetrated by the gospel. To say that God gave someone the body of one gender, but the heart of the opposite gender, is an affront to God. It implies that he did not know what he was doing, but made such mistakes when he made us. This begins to erode our faith in him in everything else. Men and women who are in confusion about who they are will not be able to become who they were created to be, unless the confusion is cleared up. Being who we are requires confidence in who we are, which requires clarity. This is how the light, or the truth, sets us free. The more light we can see, or the deeper the truth, the more confidence we have in it, and the more we can accurately relate to it. The spiritual champions about to be revealed will have clarity about who they are and what they are called to be. This is because they will have received their identity from God, not from the twisted, confused, and degrading philosophies of this fallen world. These future leaders are a new breed of leader, and are God's freedom fighters. They will proclaim liberty throughout the land. This is basic to the gospel of the kingdom that the Lord said must be preached throughout the world, before the end of this age can come. And this we will soon begin to hear.